All right, students, this is the second video here today, and there is the title, and I'm making all these short. Okay. All right, so once again, here are the four graphs. So if you need to refer to one, go back here. Again, as I'm going to keep saying this like a broken record here, I'll have that detailed study guide for you. I hope you have a printer. If not, some kind of tablet you can set next to you, or a second computer where you can scroll up and down. Hopefully you know all this stuff. My goal is always to have my students over prepared. All right, so moving on here. Here is the question. And so what I would like for you to do is pause the video, write all this down. Remember, set it up 1A, 1B, I, C, and go ahead and try the problem on your own. And then we'll go through the answers the way I would do it, and then we will show you what they said the correct answer should have been. All right, and this is very similar to the last one. Okay, moving on. Oh, I guess I don't need to click here. All right, so the unemployment rate in the country of Southland is greater than the natural rate of unemployment. What does that mean? We're in a recession. Okay, actually, most of these are either that I've seen are either long and short run equilibrium or recession. You rarely see an inflationary gap, but you do see one. So first thing you got to do is label the graph. Now again, you don't have to do this year, but it wouldn't hurt you to know that. You need some facility with these graphs, and we're kind of feeling ripped off that we went 2 or 3 weeks thinking that you didn't have to know these graphs, and now we're finding out they're putting questions about the graphs on the exam. Anyway, so they're in a recession, and the president of Southland is receiving advice from two economic advisors, Cohilis and Raymond, who I guarantee were people on the test committee, about how best to reduce unemployment in Southland. It's actually a pretty easy question here. All right. So you graph it, label everything right, and normally in a normal year you'd get 2 points, once for setting it up right, and one for putting the equilibrium point on the right place, right on the line where the cross is. Okay. So the first advisor says decrease personal income taxes. Okay. How would such a decrease in taxes affect aggregate demand? Okay, well, the first part is it would go up. Now, you're supposed to know why, because people all of a sudden have more money to spend, and you know what the MPC is, people are going to spend it. And that is, and so remember, as I've said in other videos, this stimulus check that the government just gave everybody is really supposed to be a rebate of your taxes. That's how I understand it. They're giving you money to spend, but it's like a decrease in taxes. Anyway, so here's what we say. How would such a decrease in taxes affect aggregate demand? It would increase, comma, or I would prefer you to say aggregate demand will increase, comma, explain. Well, I'll say it my way. As people pay less taxes, they have more disposable income, and they will spend more money. Okay. Using a correctly labeled graph of the short run Phillips curve, show the effect of the decrease in taxes. Now remember, if it's a change in AD, it's a movement along the line. And so we are in a recession, so we should be to the right. Remember, recession on ADR SRS is to the left of the straight line. On this one, it's to the right, down there next to high unemployment. So all you have to do is, it says A and B, is you put a point A over there towards unemployment in the lower right, and then show B somewhere to the left along that line, and you should show an arrow. Okay, it does not have to go all the way over to the LRPC. All it has to do is be moving in the right direction. Okay, you did that, you got 2 points. The other guy, Raymond, advises the president to take no policy action. By the way, just as a point of review here, Cohilis is a Keynesian economist. In other words, remember that story I told you about the Holocaust? You know, people want the government to do something. Believe me, look at what's going on right now. They want the government to do something, and the economists that jump in there trying to fix things with either monetary or fiscal policy, those are Keynesian economists, which most of us are. And so Cohilis is a Keynesian economist. Raymond says, hey, dude, don't do anything. He's the Herbert Hoover here. Okay, this is the position of the classical economists. As a matter of fact, I saw this posting on the AP Macro discussion page yesterday. People were complaining about what are we going to do? Aggregate demand has dropped so far, and one guy said actually the classical economists would say that was perfect because what happens when demand goes really down, prices get low. You can. I was telling somebody this the other day. They want some work done on their house, and I said, well, the government would rather you do it right now to boost the economy. I said, but if you wait a while, these people who are out of work, this is pretty brutal. Life is brutal, and it's sure as heck ain't fair. What I said was, if you wait long enough, it'll get cheaper. Personally, I would rather people spend it now because I want us to get out of it. I guess that makes me a Keynesian. I want us to do something. Anyway, Raymond advises the president to take no policy action. And here's that question that I promised you so many times. There it is. What will happen to the short run aggregate supply curve in the long run? Well, we're in a recession. Eventually, wages will adjust. And which line will move? Boy, I hope you get this right. SRAS. So I'm going to try and put this here. So look at your ADSRAS. Hopefully you drew one up there. And so the intersecting point is down here to the left somewhere, to the left of the straight line LRAS. So what's going to happen as wages go down, they go down because they're sticky, takes them a while. Eventually SRAS, a decrease in wages, is an increase in supply, and that thing will shift to the right. Okay? So remember how I did that one video, A, B, C. It's going to fix itself, but don't you dare say it'll fix itself. I need to quit saying that. Here's what we're going to say. What will happen to the short run aggregate supply curve? In the long run, it will increase or it will shift to the right. Explain. As wages go down, as nominal wages go down, that is a boost to SRAS, causing it to increase. That's not how they're going to say it, of course. And so what we're going to do now, because the SRAS has moved, remember, if it's a movement along the line in demand, if there's a change in demand on the ADSRAS, it's a movement along the SRPC. However, if the supply line changes, the entire Phillips curve shifts out, SRPC shifts out, which is bad, or it shifts in, which is good, and this one is going to shift in. And so let's see how we've done here. All right, so hopefully you've gotten that, and let's see how they worded it here. All right, so hopefully we did this right. Wait a minute. Somewhere I missed one. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Here's the one. And it's interesting. They don't have the LRAS line here. But I think what they were saying here, well, to me, that would be wrong. I would mark that wrong if you didn't have that A over to the right of the LRPC. For some reason, now remember, this you see the year on this exam, you were in elementary school when they wrote this exam, so maybe they changed how they do this. I would have marked this wrong. But their key just says an A over here on the unemployment side, and then a B over to the left. And I would prefer you to have an arrow there. And so anyway, if you did it the way I told you did it, certainly you did it right. And here's the final answers, and you see the curve shifting in. And this is the end of our second video. Okay.